Hey guys, we're back for more Let's Play Knights of the Old Republic, and we're gonna try to get to the grove and see why it's tainted in this part, but we may not be able to make it. I forgot there was something in the way that might take up quite a bit of time. So we'll just do our best and try to make it, and you know what? We probably won't, so let's go ahead and do this. Hey, Mandalorians.
You've been holding out on us again. If you haven't given us enough money, I guess we're gonna have to take it out of you piece by piece.
No, please. Take my wife and children instead. Anything.
Wife and children. Sounds like a good idea.
Wow. I'm glad you did that, Mandalorian, because if you hadn't, I would have. That's just... What kind of man is sits here and says take his wife and children instead of him? Come on. Alright, so this force power is not working so well. There we go. Alright, now this Mandalorian is almost dead. Good job, Zalbar. So we're going to try to flurry away on the Duros warrior. That works pretty damn well. We now have a couple of Duros warriors left. If I can get the camera over. There we go. Let's use another force power. Let's use shock. Let's see if it does any damage. Hey, it took out most of his health. So again with the shock. Okay, now there gotta be remains around here, so let's, yeah. And there's probably a bag or something that we can get. Equipment pack. There we go. Can I reach it? Alright, well, not much in it, but oh well. Free items are free items. So let's head to the next screen. I think we just need to go straight ahead, maybe. And to the grove. Okay, so a lot of Cath Hounds in the way. But we can actually go this way. Maybe they won't chase us. We don't have to fight them even if they chase us, but... Okay, this is the thing that was in the way that might take a while. But I'm going to try to go fast. Apprentice, your arrival here is well timed. Who are you? I am Boluk, a Jedi from the Enclave. I was sent by the Jedi Council to investigate a killing that took place here a few hours ago. Communication does not pose a problem, as both suspects now speak basic and Huttese. I was going to handle this case myself, but now that you are here, this could be an excellent opportunity for you to demonstrate how well you have been learning your lessons at the Academy. Okay. So, what you really want is me to solve something that your dumbass can't do by yourself. Though you are not a full Jedi, perhaps you could assist me in sorting out the truth from the lies. Okay, what do you want me to do? Listen to the stories given by the two suspects. I have brought an information retrieval droid with access to the archives, both at the Jedi Enclave and the planetary capital. I will use my wisdom and experience to offer you some guidance, but I will not solve the case for you. There is little benefit if you do not solve this problem yourself. Except that the problem gets solved, you know. There's that benefit. Consider each man's account and check the facts with the information droid. Once you have gathered all the evidence you think you need, run through the possible scenario with me. If you are unable to come to a satisfactory resolution, I will... Okay. I get the feeling I'm going to solve it, and then he's going to be like, I did it all by myself. It's just what this kind of seems like. Okay, according to the accounts of the participants, these three men were out here in the field together earlier before the clouds broke. It was cloudy, we need to remember that. I find that very odd, for most people would seek shelter indoors when the sky is filled with dark storm clouds, as it was earlier today. But that is not the most puzzling aspect of the case. The dead man, KotOR was shot in the back with a blaster rifle. A rifle was found lying near his body with bloodstains on it. It has been sent back to the Enclave for analysis. Two other men were found at the scene when I arrived. One was handing gold, he was unarmed. The other was Rickard Lussoff, who was carrying a hunting laser. Both men say they did not do anything, and they came across the body, but both also accuse the other. Obviously, there is more to this than what we have been told. Alright, it's very, very smart thinking, Boluk. I couldn't come to that conclusion. Is there anything else I should know? When I arrived, Handon was holding his side, and Rickard was favoring one of his legs. You should do well, or you would do well, to remember this as we progress through the case. If there's anything else you need, I will remain here while you question the witnesses. Alright, so let's go ahead and question the witnesses.
Another Jedi, huh? Helping that Twi'lek investigate, no doubt. He seems stumped. I'm Rickard Lusov. Maybe you can figure this out and let me get out of here.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I was out hunting Iriaz when I spotted one over here by the bridge. I pull out my rifle and aim at it. I couldn't see it that well, mind you, because the damn sun was in my eyes. So I shoot it and it drops. I walk over here and find Handon standing over Calder's body. So why don't you get this whole farce over with and send that whiner Handon to the prison he belongs in?
Okay, so he just told a big, fat, huge bullshit lie about the damn sun being in his eyes.
You must be assisting Master.
But let's keep talking to the other people. No, I haven't heard of you. Sorry, I talked over him.
Well, I presume you wish to hear my story then. I shall tell you, of course, but there's not much to it. I'm sure that you'll agree that Rickard is quite obviously guilty of murder. You see, I was out here running earlier today. Yes, running. I do that a lot. Can't stand speeders, never use them. Keeps me in shape, too, you know. Anyway, I was out running on the other side of that bridge there, and all of a sudden I heard a shot coming from over here. I ran over and found this man Calder lying on the ground, dead.
Did you see the killer?
And I saw Rickard come skulking out of the shadows of the rocks south of the river, and I knew something was wrong. I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave right away. Well, there. That's my story. Now, please hurry this up and arrest Rickard so I can get on with my day.
Uh-huh. Is that the only thing we can ask him?
How can I be of further...
Oh, why were you out here?
I was taking my daily constitutional. I just happened to be running by when I heard a shot. I ran over and found Calder's body lying there.
Do you often run around the plains?
Yes, quite often. I generally prefer running to anything else. Can't stand speeders. A healthy body will breed a healthy mind, as I always say.
Okay, you're holding your sad. Are you injured?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bathtub. I run. I don't know if I mentioned it.
Seemed like offended by me suggesting that he was injured.
Of course. Listen, if you need anything, I shall be glad to assist.
Okay, so now let's talk to the information droid.
Greetings, apprentice. You must be the one Master Boluk has enlisted to help him with this problem. I am an information retrieval droid. I can assist you by accessing the records of both the Jedi Enclave and the central government facilities here on Dantooine. If you have any need of my services, please do not hesitate to talk to me. I have already retrieved some information from the archives on Calder Metic, Rickard Lusov, and Handon Gould. I have also had time to examine the body of Mr. Netic. Is there any information you require?
What did you find out about the body?
My preliminary analysis of the body indicates that he was killed approximately 3 hours ago by a single energy blast to the torso. Is there any other information you need?
Tell me about these planes.
These plains are rife with wild animals, not all of them benign. The Irias are mostly docile, but can easily be provoked to violence. Calf hounds, on the other hand, are much more deadly. There have been over 35 catalogued attacks on settlers by calf hounds in the last 2 weeks. A general advisory was given out 3 days ago to carry a weapon at all times when on the plains. Small farms and holdings dot the plains and can provide safe refuge for those in need. Is there any other information you need?
Okay, well, I will have questions later. Thank you, droid. Alright, so that's all we can find out for now. Let's go talk to Boluk, and I want to discuss the murder. Very well, we should start at the beginning. If we find the truth behind each piece of the puzzle, we will no doubt resolve the case. Handon said that he was nearby and heard a shot and ran over, only to find Calder already dead. He said the car came out of the shadow and the rocks holding a blaster in his hands. Ugh. The guard said he was hunting Irias. He saw one through the glare of the sun and shot at it. It's possible that Ricard may have shot KotOR accidentally and Handon may have found the body, but that seems a very unlikely explanation. It is more likely that at least one of them is lying. Okay, yes. Oh, well, Ricard is obviously lying because it was cloudy. There was no sun glare. Yes, very well. Or done. Well done. It was very cloudy this morning. If it had happened, as Ricard said, the sun would not have been visible at the time of the killing. You seem to have caught Ricard in a bit of a lie. It seems I was correct in assuming you could help me with this case. Or do this case for me. This lie doesn't prove Ricard is guilty, but I think you have taken the first step in unraveling this mystery. Just admit you can't do it by yourself, Boluk. Oh, damn it. If there's anything else you need, I'll remain here. I think he told us to question about something else. Okay.
So, what do you want to know?
Did you know the victim?
Yeah, I knew him. Hell, we've known each other for a good long time. Doesn't mean I really have to have liked the slime ball. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. Especially now that he's dead. We actually got along pretty well most of the time. We just had our differences. We were actually business partners. We were involved in some orbit-to-ground transport operations for Aerotech. Can I leave now? I should probably be the one to give the news to his wife.
I want to ask you something else. Trying to make yourself sound innocent like you're good buddies and you're going to tell his wife. Come on. Why would someone want to kill him?
You Jedi are so predictable. Always seeing some greater purpose behind everything. When the simple answer is usually the right one. Can't you see that it must have been Handon? I found him standing over the damned body. I don't know why this is causing you so much trouble. You almost seem as lost as this Boluk guy.
Okay, I want to ask you something else.
So, what do you want to know?
I don't think I asked this. Boluk said you were limping. Are you hurt?
Well, I kind of sprained my ankle running through the bush before I found the body, but it's nothing that serious.
Okay, is that all I can ask him?
So, what do you want to know?
Yeah, okay. So, nothing more right now. Let's go
Right.
to the other suspect and question him.
How can I be of further assistance?
So, I guess where Boluk told us to question about their connection to the victim.
I knew him a little bit, but I was not any sort of great friend to him or anything. I never really associated with him that much. In truth, I didn't really want to. He had a reputation. Very inconsiderate of family, I heard. But merely having heard unkind things about someone wouldn't make me want to kill him.
No one says you killed him yet.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit agitated. Why must we remain here? Can't you see that Rickard must have shot him?
Alright, let's ask him something else.
How can I be of further assistance?
Why would someone want to kill him?
Well, you see, Calder was involved in some pretty sordid business from time to time. More often than not, I've heard. Disreputable business practices, even more disreputable clients. I've even heard he had dealings with a hut here on Dantooine. Now, I bet you're wondering if I had any reasons to kill the man, but I tell you, I hardly knew him. I saw him once or twice, yes, and I've heard some pretty unkind things about him, but certainly nothing that would make me want to kill him.
Well, no one says you killed him yet.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit
Okay.
agitated.
Is that all I can ask
How
him?
can I be of further assistance?
Oh,
Now, how can I...
yep, that's all. So,
Of course.
let's go to the information droid.
Is there any other information you need?
What can you tell me about Calder and Handon?
The Southwood Speeder rental business has records that over the past several weeks, a speeder had been rented by Mr. Nettic and Mr. Gold. Is there any other information you need?
What can you tell me about Calder and Ricard?
According to the municipal authorities near the Garang spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity in a cantina attached to the port. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusoff was making accusations at a Mr. C. Nettic about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Tuka was dispatched to the scene and restored order. Is there any other information you need?
Alright, so I'll have questions later.
Very well. I will be here to assist you.
Okay, let's go back to Handon.
How can I be of further assistance?
You knew Calder better than you admit. You rented a speeder with him.
But I realize this must seem like a motive to you, but I assure you it isn't. I dislike Calder, true. I would punch his face in given the opportunity, but I would not kill him.
Punch his face in? Why?
My wife was cheating on me, I think. I slept in my own bed while I was in the next room. But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my wife away. I must try not to take the law into my own hands. I was just out running, trying to clear my head for the divorce proceedings, not stalking him to kill him. Running is not a crime.
Okay, is that all we can ask him?
How can I be of further assistance?
You wanted to kill Calder for having an affair with your wife.
Knock his block off, maybe, sure, but not kill him. I don't know. I hope you don't find that incriminating. You know, normally I'm not prone to outbursts like that, but Calder, Mr. Nedick, he was not a very nice person. Not a very nice person to me or my family. I had had my suspicions for several weeks, but had no proof until 2 days ago. It seems Calder was seeing my wife, right under my nose, no less.
Well, if you can't keep her, it's your own fault.
But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my wife away. I must try not to take the law into my own hands. I was just
Okay,
out
so he's
running.
repeating himself now.
Of course, of course.
So, Calder was not very nice to Handon or his family, but kind of sounds like to me he was nice to his wife a little bit. You know what I mean. Let's go back to Ricard.
So, what?
And, you thought Calder was cheating you.
Now, I don't love Calder, but we go back a long way. We run a suborbital shipping and transport company out of Durang Spaceport. We've been partners in that business for well over 20 years, and we've been doing just fine the way we are.
You can deny it, but there was bad blood between you.
Right.
Okay. So, let's go back to Boluk. Okay, let's discuss the murder. We know Ricard lied about the sun blinding him while he was shooting, but we need more to go on. Let's examine the relationship of each man with the victim. Handon told me he barely knew the victim. On the other hand, Ricard and the victim were business partners. However, according to Ricard, they got along quite well. On the surface, neither man seems to have a motive for killing Calder. I think Ricard is lying. No, let's reconsider. We need to look at all the options. He knew his wife was cheating on him. Let's go with that one. Well, that certainly is a motive for murder. The case is taking shape, however, mustn't jump to quick conclusions. Perhaps we should now focus on the murder weapon itself. You might want to see what information the witnesses and the information droid can provide you about the blaster found near the body. Alright. So, let's question about the blaster.
So, what do you...
Okay, what about the weapon found by the body?
That blaster? Never seen it before. Calder himself had a preference for Echani weaponry. He had this one really nice light blaster rifle that he always used. Always wished I could get myself a rifle like the one he had.
Echanis make delicate weapons with too little firepower. Lightweight stuff, if you ask me.
That blaster ain't it, though. Calder only had the one rifle, too, so he either must have borrowed that, or it's someone else's.
Okay. I think that's all the new stuff I can ask him, yeah. Okay.
Right.
Now let's go to Handon and question about the stupid rifle or weapon.
That blaster was stolen from my house last week. I never knew what happened to it. I hardly have enough money to afford a single blaster, let alone another. I can't tell you how important it is to have a weapon on hand with all these ravenous cat hounds around. Even an Irias can take a man down if it gets in the mood. Every settler has a weapon. It's our most prized possession. I would most appreciate it if I could have that back after you determine that Rickard is the killer. How can I be of further assistance?
Okay, so that was stolen from Handon. Nothing more right now. Let's go talk to the information droid.
Is there any other information you...
Tell me about the weapon.
We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
Is there a report of Handon's blaster being stolen?
I am sorry, but I seem to be failing you. I have searched and searched, but I cannot seem to come up with anything at all. I thought to find the record of the missing weapon report Mr. Gould filed with the authorities, but there does not seem to be one. Is there any other information you need?
Okay, so he can't find a report of Handon's blaster being stolen like he just said. Well, let's go talk to Bullock. I want to discuss the murder. The blaster is Handon's. He lied about it being stolen. So we've caught Handon in a lie. Interesting, but I think we need one final piece of the puzzle. There was a blood sample on the weapon that could be sent back for analysis just before you arrived. Perhaps you could ensure or inquire with the information droid about it. Alright, so let's go do that. I don't know why he ran like that. Let's go back to the droid and talk about the blood sample.
I have just received back an analysis of a sample of the blood found on the weapon. It had been sent back to the Enclave just before you arrived. The blood on the weapon is definitely not KotOR's. Unfortunately, there was a bacterial contaminant in the sample that had been taken back to the laboratory, and it had become degraded. We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample other than the fact it did not belong to KotOR. Is there any other information you need?
Okay, well that's it. I'll have more questions later. I don't think there's anything new I can ask these two. No. Okay, so we need to go back to Bullock and talk about the blood sample. If I can move. There we go. Alright, Bullock. We have new information. Whoops. I assume the blood on the weapon belongs to the victim, but I want to be thorough. What have you learned about the blood on the weapon? It didn't belong to the victim. That is surprising, so the blood must belong to one of the suspects, but which one? It's Handon's blood. Why do you believe that? He is clutching his side. Handon has been moving oddly since I arrived. Perhaps we should examine him a little more closely.
Hey, what are you doing?
There is blood. Handon appears to have suffered some sort of blaster wound to his side. It would seem there is one logical scenario. Handon killed KotOR for having an affair with his wife. Ricard was out hunting and accidentally shot Handon after he killed KotOR. Okay. No, that's stupid, Bullock. They are both guilty. A bold conclusion, one most people would not arrive at, but we are not like most people, are we? We are Jedi. Still, I would like to know how you came to this conclusion. We know KotOR was having an affair with Handon's wife, but what possible motive could Ricard have for wanting KotOR dead? Ricard thought KotOR was cheating him in business. Yes, well done. Both men had a reason to want KotOR dead. This is my theory of the morning's events that you got from me. Both men knew KotOR would be out here this morning and each plotted to kill him. Handon found him first and shot him because of the affair KotOR was having with his wife. Shortly after, Ricard arrived on the scene. From a distance, he saw Handon and thought it was KotOR, so he shot him in retaliation for the credits KotOR had cheated him out of in their business. Handon would have dropped his blaster, the one we found at the scene covered in blood. He probably thought Ricard was going to kill him, so he called us, hoping he could convince us it was Ricard.
Damn both of you.
That is enough. The culpability of both of you in the murder and attempted murder of KotOR Nedic is evident. Additionally, Ricard Lussoff can be charged with aggravated assault and attempted murder of Handon Gold. I place both of you under arrest of the Jedi Order, and we will escort you to the facilities in the Jedi Enclave. You have done well here. It is obvious you have been studying your lessons carefully. I will be sure to inform the Jedi Council of your performance in this little test. Alright, unless you take full credit for it, which you probably will do, since you acted like, you know, you were the one who came up with the theory of the morning's events, whatever. Alright, so that's that, and actually I think I need to end the part. But, hey, let's go here first. Let's have a battle to end the part. That's always fun. Alright, Kathhound. Come on, stop running from me, I'm trying to fight you. And harder worked on all of them. Yes. Perfect. Let's flurry again. Get rid of that Kathhound. And there's somewhere we need to go. Or a certain direction we need to go. So I'm going to try to get there. And so that way in the next part we can just figure out what is wrong with the grove. And we won't have to fight our way there. Come on, hurry up. Kill it. Kill it. There we go. Alright, we have more Kathhounds that Zalbar seemed to want to go kill. Now, We can go through that way and it's shorter, but I just want to make sure that everything is clear on the way there, because I don't want to have to do that in the next part. Oh wow, a lot of them over here. Let's do our horror. Yeah. Nobody's moving now, are they? And hell, let's shock something. I don't know. Okay, so next time we will head to the grove, which is right there, and I see a little thing, a little outline right here. What is that? We'll find out in the next part. Thanks for watching, guys.